Well, hello, I'm David Freeman with Is That Really in the Bible? Did you know the only promise Christ ever gave of human beings living again is by a resurrection from the dead? Now, I just think that's interesting. I think it's interesting because there is this teaching that dominates mainstream churchianity that says, no, when you die, you immediately go to heaven. Okay? And yet Christ, the only promise Christ ever gave of people living again was by a resurrection from the dead. Now let's notice what Jesus said in John 5 and verse 28. He said, "Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming into which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of judgment." So exactly what is Christ talking about? Is he talking about going to heaven when you die? Well, did you read anything about going to heaven when you die in this scripture that I just read? No, we're talking about dead people, people who are dead, people who have died, coming back to life. What is that? That is, and facing Jesus when they come back to life. What is that? That's a resurrection from the dead. Now, on top of all of this, the only promise Christ ever gave of this world's problems being solved is for him to return to this earth, resurrect the saints, and establish his kingdom on this earth. Now, this is fascinating that, sometimes we wonder, what is our part? Do we have anything to do with God's design, what God is doing? And in fact, what is God doing? What is his preparations for the future when he returns to this earth? Well, he's going to establish the government of God on this earth. We all understand that. But what about us? What about the saints? Did you know that Christ for the past 2,000 years has been calling out his cabinet members who will reign and rule with him at his side when he returns, when the saints are resurrected? Yeah, I mean, you understand that, don't you? What I mean by cabinet members, a president has his cabinet members that do his bidding, that help him do whatever he wants to do. Okay? So I'm telling you, Christ has been calling out, your future is fascinating. The reason your future is fascinating is because for the past 2,000 years, Christ has been calling out his cabinet members that will have a part in ruling and reigning with him when he returns. In fact, Christ put it like this. He said, now, if I don't return, if I don't resurrect my cabinet members, if I don't put a stop to the madness, let's take a look at what Christ said, Matthew 24 and verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, what days? Of the days that we are living in, the madness the insanity of the days that we are living in right now. Okay, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved alive. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So Christ returns and says, unless I put an end to the madness that you see going all around you in your society, in government, no one, unless I cut that time short, no one is going to be left to save. No one's going to be left alive. The world, the whole world, and all the people on it will self-destruct.
Check us out on the web at isthatreallyinthebible.com.